At 6:01, I think. Anyway, and have an introduction of board members. Judd, you want to introduce yourself since you're...
Sure. Judd Markowski, resident of Bridport and with member.
Thank you, Judd. Steve?
Steve Vernon from Starksboro, representing MAUSD.
Christina Macklin from North Ferrisburg, representing Addison Northwest School District.
Linda?
Linda Barrett, clerk.
Kim Farnan from New Haven, the community at large member, excuse me, representing Mount Abe, and the vice chair will be running the meeting this evening.
Mark Bouvier, interim business manager for the Career Center.
Steve Orzek, representing ACSD from Middlebury.
Nick Colston from Shoreham, representing ACSD.
And Tim, introduce yourself.
Tim Williams, superintendent, director, intern.
Suzanne, can you talk?
And Suzanne Buck, ACSD, calling in from Springfield, Mass.
And Jillian, I see you up there. We haven't met yet. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi everybody, my name is Jillian Zieger. I've been recently hired as the new English/technical communications teacher, and it's a pleasure to meet everybody.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And Lisa Rader?
Hi everyone, Lisa Rader, teacher of design and illustration and visual communications.
Thank you, Lisa. I think we got her.
Patrice.
Patrice Alexander, who was running the show here.
Patrice Alexander, administrative assistant.
Thank you, Patrice. So I'm going to approve the agenda. Do you have a motion to do that?
So moved, Judd.
Thank you, John. Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any visitors' comments? And Brenda Logie, any visitors? You're the only person that hasn't been introduced. Do you have any comments? Anybody online?
Sure. Since you just brought up my name, I'll go.
Okay, go ahead, Brenda.
I'm Brenda Logie. I'm the school counselor at the Career Center, and this may not seem important right now, and maybe it isn't, but I just wanted to ask the board to consider forming a small committee to consider changing the name of the Career Center, to change it from Hannaford Career Center to something else. The committee could be made up of a combination of different kinds of people, school board members, staff members, community members, and just to take a kind of get a pulse on what might be appropriate.
Press them up, but you can't take them out.
Most of the tech centers in Vermont are named after their region. There's Northwest Technical Center, there's Central Vermont Career Center. It's just one idea, but that's my comment for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda. We have some correspondence. I'm not sure where it is, but I believe it was from RK Miles, and it's for a donation of $1,000 store credit for supplies.
It's not RK Miles, it's just Miles Supply. It's a CDL distributor, which is a sugaring company. Sugaring equipment.
Thank you. Whoop, we have it over here. Thank you.
Okay.
I think it's in the packet too.
All right, so everybody's seen that? Yeah. Okay, under the consent agenda, we have the minutes from August 18th. Anybody have any corrections, communications that we need to take a look at? Okay. And Nick, I understood that you did the accounts payable for August. Is that correct? Excuse me, for
yes.
September.
No, it's for August, you're right.
Okay.
So we have, for the building project, $576,109. For building equipment reserve fund, the berth, we have $185. For the general fund, if I've added it up right, we have $98,435. Student activities, $2,280. And for the payroll, there were 2 payrolls for $32,000 and a second payroll for $27,000. Those did not reflect any teacher payroll payments for the month. That was admin payroll. That's it.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I'm wondering about the student activities, Nick, in August, just kind of what that might be.
Ooh,
Just curious.
I can't tell you, but we can get back to you.
Okay.
Mark, do you remember?
The EP checks for student activities, the field days
Okay.
were in operation.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense.
And in the future, Nick, I will make a point of putting subtotals.
Yes.
It just occurred to me, I was using a template.
It would help.
I will make that change.
I shouldn't add up the payrolls fast enough.
So I won't ask you to repeat that first number then that you gave for the general fund.
Yeah, that's right.
You will?
I won't.
And I can give you the detail for payroll.
She's got one.
You got a copy?
Yeah,
I just need the totals after.
Total.
No, it's quicker than my head. That's it.
Any questions on any of that, other than Christine's? Okay. So under action agenda. So Linda, refresh my memory, do I have to ask for motion consent agenda, or is it just on an action? Thank you.
Just state the stuff.
Okay, thank you. So we're looking for approval of new hires. And the first one is a financial assistant, Allison Brigger. And correct me if I'm mispronouncing somebody's name. Second person is English instructor, Jillian, who's just met online. And then the third is Josh Spingelman, who would be a teaching assistant. Tim, did you want to speak to any of those positions, or?
Yes, we're very happy to have these people on board as part of our organization, doing a wonderful job, and looking forward to approve their hiring.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor of the following
Aye.
hires?
Aye.
All right.
Yes. She said yes. Okay, good.
No, I keep muting Suzanne.
Good idea. Yeah, miss feedback.
I said yes.
She said yes. Okay, good. Anyway, all right. So that looks like it was pretty much unanimous, which is a good thing. Anyway, but thank you and welcome. We have somebody online.
Yes, you've met Jillian already. I don't think the other two are with us tonight. I don't think that they were able to join us. So, Jillian, thank you. Is there anything you'd like to say in addition to what you've already said?
I don't think so. Just I appreciate the approval of my hire. I was a longtime teacher in Connecticut before I moved to Vermont last year, and I know these are slightly unusual circumstances in that I'm just teaching the one class. I have another job at the Breadlove School of English as well, and I appreciate the accommodation to let me keep my other job and to be able to offer what I can to that morning group of culinary students at the same time. And I'm glad it was mutually beneficial for everybody.
Well, thank you for taking the time to come on and introduce yourself. We don't necessarily see everybody on a regular basis, or it could be weeks before we do, but thank you.
Understood.
So we have an action that's needed on the mile supply piece, but I think I'm going to wait until we get through the rest of this. Policy 2.4, financial planning and budgeting. It's a monitoring report, and Mark's here to talk about that, I would assume. Or he's looking at me like,
Yeah, that one, I was thinking the board report. Was that included in the packet?
Yes, it was.
It was,
Yeah.
okay. I don't have a copy in front of me.
Neither do I, so we're good.
Okay, thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
As you know, I'm kind of coming back into a position I held for 10 years, retiring in December 15. But with regards to your financial planning and budgeting, those at risk under number 1, there are no violations with this report's back. Recall to your prior month's report, and there are no violations of any of the financial constraints that are in your policy 2.3. The number 2, nothing has really changed there. Our revenue and expenses are monitored through our internal controls, direct deposit on any federal and or state funds as the case may be. Assessments, those will be coming in hopefully within the next couple of months. The deposits, I think that's been readdressed, but that's the way we're following it. The capital and operating costs are separated not only by account classification, but also the fact that there is a separate checking account with a different bank for our construction account or BRF fund, of which we have both. We monitor the cash flow, just monitored it today. As of the printing of this, we have not drawn upon our line of credit, which is we have available $1.2 million, but with AP this week and payroll, we will be making a draw on that as of tomorrow. And so the audit process has started with a couple of days with just some early field work, but in December, the week of December 5th to be exact, all wheels will be on the ground with R.H. Smith and doing all of the necessary work to commence the FY22 audit.
Any questions?
Is the audit being done remotely, like through Zoom now, or do they come on site?
One person was on site.
Uh-huh.
However, what we do is we feed information electronically to them through a portal, secured portal site. But my understanding, and again, this is a different auditing firm from when I was here, but they do actually come boots on the ground here in the building.
Thank you. Any other questions? John, any questions?
No.
All right. Tim, do you want to add anything to that, or Nick has a question? No? Okay. Nick?
Is December the 5th more or less the same date as last year? It seems, to get final accounts, it seems a little late.
I don't know the date last year, Nick. It was a date that, with all the parties involved, that worked out best.
Okay.
I'm confident.
We delayed last year? We got
Because for
delayed.
January,
Yeah,
we pretty well need
my
to know
push
the fund
is that
balance.
before you put your budget to bed, we have a confirmed fund balance that has been
That's right.
verified by the auditors.
Yeah. I guess we had it in January last
Yeah, it was later, but there was some hiccups.
Because I know-
I
Yeah,
don't
there was some
remember what it
hiccups.
was.
Yeah, because
we
you-
were working through some.
year. Yeah.
By the middle or latter part of January, you're putting your annual report to bed, you know,
Right.
the printed copy, and as well as the budget, and so it's critical you have that final number.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Patrice, Suzanne said it's hard to hear. I don't know if you can do anything about it.
All the background noise where she's at.
It could be that. Can other people hear? Can Tim hear?
I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all.
It might be her background,
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
because I can't turn it up anymore.
Yeah. She'll have to figure it out. The VACTED FY23 Consortium Agreement Approval.
What is this?
I'm just reading from the action items.
Anybody?
Yeah, this is a consortium agreement, it's been in the board packet to allow the the career centers to share some funding among the career centers. From what I can gather, it's kind of an annual thing, and we're recommending approval so that we can participate in that funding.
Tim, is it all of the career centers or select few or all
It
of
is.
them? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
Yeah, quite a few.
Looks like it's for a year, just the school year.
And does it need an
Pursuant to
authorized,
Perkins.
does it need an authorized signature? Does that?
Superintendent, director, that's it. It looks like.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, is there a question?
It looks like there's an authorized signature. And
CTE director and the superintendent has to make a signature.
right.
Yeah, I'm not signing it until approval, of course.
Correct.
Let's see,
Right.
it has to be annual.
Do you know what the date is for that having to be in, or does that matter? Or?
They want it as soon as possible. There's a handful of centers in our situation where board meeting didn't line up with when they really wanted it. And I'll notify them as soon as it's approved.
Okay. Thank you.
I move to approve the VAC consortium agreement.
Well, we have other things in this agenda item, the action items.
Oh, you're going to
You
approve
do it
them
all
all
at
at
once,
once?
one agenda, or one motion?
We need the action item and donation. We haven't done that yet.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to do this one.
You can do it each separate.
If you want to do it. Okay, thank you. So I'm going to take each individual item. So action and donation of $1,000 store credit to Miles Supply.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Second, Nick. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And moving on to the VACTED FY23 Consortium Agreement approval. Need a motion to approve that?
So moved. Oh.
Second.
Jeff and Steve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do we have to appoint or approve the policy 2.4?
Suzanne said yes.
Thank you. We will need to do that also. Thank you. Policy 2.4, financial planning and budgeting report presented by Mark. Need a motion. So that's Nick, second.
Second.
Steve. All those in favor of accepting that motion?
Aye.
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 Thank you. So the next piece is that the VSBIT, VSBA representative to annual meeting for PAHCC. Suzanne is a member of the VSBA and will probably be at that meeting. Suzanne, is that something you want to add to your list?
It's fine. I'm going to be there, and it's just attending 2 business meetings and representing the Career Center.
Okay. Any questions for Suzanne?
No.
No questions. So I entertain a motion to appoint Suzanne as our representative to the annual meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Christine, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Okay. I think I got all of them, Linda. Tell me
Yeah, I
if
think that
haven't.
was it.
We did that at once. I was trying to do it all at once, but it wasn't working. Okay, we're down to the informational agenda with the list of reports that were in the packet. Any questions? Anybody want to talk about facilities, for instance, or anything? Maybe an update on how the building renovations are going? Anybody that can do that sitting at the table here?
Do we know, are we done? How much is left?
No idea.
No,
Do
we
we
haven't
have
seen a report. but-
Nothing from the clerk of the work?
It's the same, I mean, the report that's in here is from the meeting that we were at.
Yeah, okay.
On the,
Okay.
there's been
Yeah.
not been an update since.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
But it sounded like things were going pretty well.
Yeah, they're going well, but I
We
thought
do,
we were
we
gonna
will
be
need
done, so-
some financial numbers for to back up the next payment, which I think Mark is probably, are you working on that, Mark? Yeah.
I received yesterday from Jay the schedule of work.
Schedule of
Yeah, it goes down through the various categories: HVAC, asbestos removal,
Right.
electrical, plumbing, flooring, etc. And we are just about tapped out with our $2 million line of credit. I've been trying to reach formerly pubs, now M&T, and after being on hold for an hour today, I finally gave up. But a payment is upcoming, and so I suspect they'll be reaching out to me. If you give me just a second, I would normally, I apologize, because this was my first payroll run this week, and it took priority. I was sweating bullets all day, and
They appreciate
I saw
that.
the bullets.
so 1.6 million according to the schedule. And as some know, that these schedules don't always go to plan. I know we're close to the $2 million mark, but we have not gone over, and expenditures as of 31 August. And and of course now with school back in session, and the schedule reflects that the work will slow down, somewhat in some of the areas.
There was a little bit of, there was a possibility there was going to be some demolition started over at North
North
That's what
Campus.
the
They're in, my
reports-
understanding is they're on the second floor at North Campus.
Has the clerk of the works given a formal report?
Yes, that's in the,
Okay.
that's Marty's report at the top of the facilities report.
Okay.
And did Marty also sign off on the requisition?
there it is.
He was going to be in that loop.
Yeah.
He's
It's not, I did ask if there was an AIA document. I don't remember the form.
It was an AAA document.
But no, they said Marty submits or gives the approval on it. But at the end of the next, at your October board meeting, will be end of the first quarter. There's also the report from the business office, which I'll be preparing. And we will have a summary of your first quarter on the general fund, as well as, and I traditionally, I don't know if it's changed, did the BRF fund, and then certainly this fund, I'll call it construction fund for lack of a better descriptor. We'll have a first quarter ending report on that.
So the AIA requisition form wasn't going to be signed by the architect. It was going to be signed off by EEI.
Right.
Because the architect's under them.
Okay.
And then Marty was going to sign off on it as well.
Okay. That's what I was, because I asked Jay and he said, no, Marty will be signing off on those with EIC or ECI?
EEI.
EEI, okay.
Yeah, they both should say.
Now, is this a CM or a GC?
EEI they're a
construction manager?
Yeah, they're kind of a
Energy audit firm, right?
they're really a construction. They're a design build firm.
Okay.
As far as we're concerned, they have Banwell under them and some other subcontractors under them. So they're really an umbrella organization.
Sorry to digress here. Thank you, Steve.
The only question about what work is done, is all the asbestos remediation done? Because that should not be being done while students are in the building, right?
Yeah, I think that was, their report was that was finished. They identified that there were a few places that might need to be looked at down the road.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it says it's
some
all been
minor
removed.
flooring.
Okay,
Yes,
but
minor.
all been removed and done with asbestos remediation, that's kind of two different things. So there's not going to be any asbestos work from this point on?
No, it says here that they'll be doing
No, I
some
think
next.
they've got to come back.
In the next phase.
Next phase, right, not during the school year.
Yeah, yeah.
They wouldn't do that.
Oh, I'm just checking.
Yeah.
Have they indicated when the boilers are going to be installed? I'm just, now that it's going down in the 40s tonight, I'm just curious. Like, is it sometime next month, or will it go into November?
We did talk about that.
Just It's okay, I was just curious.
Yeah, the boiler process is ahead of schedule.
Is
Yeah,
it?
it is.
So
Isn't it a
they're like
Yeah.
here, maybe, like we're not waiting for the boilers to like arrive, or?
So it says here.
No,
It says the old boilers have been removed and the new boilers are planned to be installed prior to the start of the heating season. That was the last update.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were some circumstances that allowed them to move ahead of schedule, get them in sooner than anticipated, which is a good thing, of course. I think I'd sent something along those lines in a prior communication about the boilers. For the life of me, I can't remember what it was, but all I remember is ahead of schedule.
We're good, that's good.
Tim, is there anything else you want to add to that report that we haven't really talked about?
No, it's just the owner meetings, because of the start of school, didn't happen as frequently as they would have otherwise. We're going to get back to a normal schedule pretty soon. I think they may have had one yesterday. But of course, I wasn't there, so I don't know what happened at that particular meeting. But the first couple weeks of school, just scheduling a meeting for that was impossible, really, with everything that was going on. So we have a little less information than we otherwise would have.
Tim, when's the next meeting scheduled? Do you know? Or have it
September 26th is the next facilities meeting.
facilities, but
The owners meeting is weekly?
It is, next one is on the 28th, and no, next one's on the 21st. So every Wednesday, pretty much,
Yeah, I think it's weekly.
at 11:15. They used to be at 9 a.m., but because, students coming in and whatnot, moved it to 11:15 to accommodate schedules better. So every Wednesday.
thank you, Tim. Any other questions for anyone?
Sure.
I was wondering, Tim, about your report. I don't know if this is a good time to do this or not, to sort of unpack some of those results that you provided for us in your report, or not. But there were a lot of
The results of, I'm sorry,
the work keys data that you shared and all those different charts.
oh, okay.
And then
In general, yeah, there's a lot of data there,
Yeah.
but in general, students at Hannaford Career Center tend to perform a little bit better in a lot of ways than statewide CTE students. So there's a lot to be happy about there, and also there's a lot to be happy about in that report relative to Hannaford students going on to post-high school education. We have a higher percentage of our students who do that when compared to the CTE centers in the state. In 1 year, I'm trying to remember the year, I think it might have been 2017 maybe, or maybe 2016, we had like 21 percentage points higher of our students attending post-high school education as compared to CTE students statewide. So it goes a long way to tell a message about just because you go to a career center doesn't mean you're not going to college. The data shows otherwise. That's something to be happy about. And the other thing we need to pay attention to is completion rates. Nationwide, it's the percentage of students who complete post-secondary education drops pretty dramatically as compared to those who enroll. And it's no different here. So we need to get a little bit more information about that and try to figure out if we're preparing kids well for college that do go to college, or if it's just that they have better opportunities available to them because they have a career center education and don't need to complete whatever post-secondary programs they started. So there's a lot in that report to be happy about and to be excited about, and a lot to pay attention to.
Great, thank you for that, I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome.
I would also point out that the breakdown data that we've seen based on programs, that there are certain programs that are carrying a very large load in these high test scores and into the post-secondary education, and one of those is ART, a program that has been somewhat questioned by the state and by, in some respects, this board. So it provides you some of these numbers. So I would like to point that out.
Any other questions for Tim? Or anybody else? Thank you, Tim.
There's Tiffany. She's muted though, or something.
She was in another meeting, so she might still be.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Thank you.
Nick?
Sorry I was late.
I was just going to point out, say it's so surprising that the levels didn't drop off more 2021 to 2022, 21-22, given the COVID. I would have expected a much bigger drop.
Yeah, agreed. That was a bit surprising.
Yeah.
So I think that bodes well.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was because students were able to actually be here more than they were in some of the others, some of the schools. They actually weren't physically here doing the programs.
Yes,
right?
could be.
Versus everybody else was mostly remote.
I think it's a good reflection.
Tim, I know it's probably a bit unfair to ask you this question, but Jay was doing kind of a monthly newsletter last year. Do you know whether he's hoping to put that out again at some point this year?
I have not discussed it with him.
Okay.
So.
I think I saw a remark saying that he was going to come out with one this month.
It's in his report.
It's in his report.
Pretty sure.
He said he was going to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No,
He says he's working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know how I remember that, but
Well, I read it and then I read right by it, so
Yeah.
that's not helpful.
Thank you. For everybody sitting at the table, we have someone who has joined us, and it's our new teaching assistant, Josh Spiegelman.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
I told him his position was approved.
yeah,
so.
you're hired.
Thank you.
You can't get away now. But anyway, and thanks for coming in. Introduce
Just
yourself.
happy to be here.
Thank you.
Do we want to give Josh a second?
Yes, please say a few words.
Would you like to?
Sure, absolutely.
Come on up and join us.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to meet all of you. My name is Josh Spiegelman. I'm the assistant instructor for the Mechanical Sciences
Actually,
Department.
Josh, would you sit maybe in one of the chairs?
Oh, sure,
We're
sure.
on camera.
That way the camera.
Sorry.
Patrice is
Not
trying
used to
find
being
you.
famous like this. But yeah, I'm the new assistant instructor for Mechanical Science, and I just want to say hello to everybody. Looking really forward to this year. This has already been a lot of fun for me. Learning as much as I can, as quickly as I can. And it's really exciting to help facilitate brighter minds than myself, hopefully.
Oh, great, welcome.
Well, welcome, thank you, thank you. I also would like to invite you guys on October 6th to the open house, if you haven't already been notified about this. I believe it's from 4:30 to 6:45? 6:30. We'd love for you to come by and take a look and see all the wonderful things that we're trying to accomplish this year.
Good.
And hello to everybody I just turned my back to on the camera.
Thanks for sharing that info. We haven't heard that yet, but
Oh, okay. I'm happy
I'm sure
to.
it's in somebody's report or will be. But anyway, but thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
All
Yeah,
right.
you
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming back.
Thank you for stopping by.
You're welcome. Bye, everybody.
Now, Josh.
Good night, everyone.
Take care.
You've been on TV.
I'm sorry, what was the date on the open house? I got
October 6th, he said.
October 6th, 4:30 to 6:30. So next we have policy 4.1, governing style. And do I have a volunteer, as Suzanne would say, to give us some feedback?
I'll do it.
Thank you.
This is the fun part of the night.
Yes.
Talking about our
Can be, yes.
self-evaluation. Anyway, I think we're way ahead of schedule, so thank you for that, everybody. Kim did a fine job of running our meeting tonight in place of Suzanne, who's in Massachusetts, and I think, yeah, everything went smoothly, and I don't think I have anything else really to add. It's a good first September board meeting, for sure.
Thanks, Mark, for joining us. It's helpful
Yes.
when we can ask those questions, and there's a person here to do that, we'll take it.
Well, I was a little bit prepared on the construction project. It's nice to be back. Saw some familiar faces and made some new faces that were friends.
There you go. That's good. So we have an executive session scheduled. I need a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Under the guise of personnel, by the way.
I'll move that.
Suzanne's moving it.
You want to move this?
Nick.
Do you have to send her a new link? That's usually what happens.
I will ask Terry if he has one.
Are you looking for a second on that still? I couldn't hear.
No, we're all good. We're all
We're
good.
good. We're good.
Thank you.
So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Or, can you use this one that you play up?
I